It feels like every single week a brand new AI video tool is absolutely blowing up on social media. Right now, the entire market is completely saturated with generators popping off everywhere you look. But let's be real. Most of these tools aren't nearly as magical as their headlines promise them to be. Some generators are perfectly fine if you stay strictly inside their artistic lane with simple prompts. However, the second you try to push them towards detailed anime or a wild fantasy mashup, they completely crash. Then you have the other set of tools that are either ridiculously pricey or so confusing, you waste days just learning the interface. I've spent the last few weeks testing all the major players to see exactly where they excel and where they completely fall apart. So today, I'm walking you through the AI video tools that actually give you usable output without the headache. We'll cover how to use them efficiently without wasting your entire life navigating their menus. Plus, I'll share the crucial workflow that ties everything together so you aren't jumping between 5 different websites for one short clip. Stick around because I'm also going to show you the practical way I turn long videos into endless shorts without completely losing my mind. All right, let's kick things off with a tool built for absolute precision, Seedance 1.0. This one comes from the team behind a huge short-form platform, and it's currently leading benchmarks for text-to-video fidelity. Unlike many generators that get fuzzy with specific requests, Seedance actually respects detailed prompting quite well. If you've been frustrated by vague outputs from other services, this particular tool is a genuine breath of fresh air. Here is exactly how I leverage its capabilities in my own process. I immediately open the text-to-video tab, select Seedance, and feed it an incredibly detailed narrative prompt. I include things like cinematic beats, specific camera movements, weather conditions, lighting styles, and even the required frame rate. For example, a prompt detailing a cyberpunk courier weaving through heavy rain on a futuristic bike forces the AI to render complex scenes. The core principle here is that the more precise your input, the remarkably better Seedance's final performance becomes. The truth is, Seedance is phenomenal for generating quick, polished 5 to 10 second clips perfect for a quick reel or video teaser. It usually nails the key elements like the main character and the primary subject matter you requested. Where it sometimes struggles is rendering expansive environmental depth like a sprawling metropolis versus just a busy street. Still, for rapid ideation and quick iteration loops, it sits near the top of its specific performance category. Moving on to the next powerhouse, let's talk about Pixverse if you crave that distinctly stylized or hand-drawn animation feel. Pixverse absolutely refuses to chase photorealism. Its whole focus is on delivering sheer artistic personality. You get exaggerated motion, a clear artistic identity, and visuals that look like they were crafted with painstaking care frame by frame. My standard approach with Pixverse is picking the most recent stable animation model available. I immediately crank the output resolution up to 1080p whenever I need something genuinely publishable quality. Crucially, I always push those artistic style controls like lens bloom and that subtle hand-drawn jitter effect. For a warm scene like an old grandfather carving a wooden toy in perfect golden hour light, Pixverse truly masters the textures. It captures the soft textures and the emotional weight of the framing better than most competitors. The start-to-end frame feature is a genuinely clever trick for animating smooth transitions between 2 defined shots. You can upload a close-up and a wide shot, and the model handles the animation in between, which is great for motion comics. It's perfect for crafting those emotional micro-stories or developing stylized opening title sequences. But let's be clear on its limitation. This tool is absolutely not the one for photorealistic, blockbuster-level imagery. If your goal is realism that rivals a major motion picture, Pixverse simply won't be your primary choice. However, for stylized storytelling that radiates with personality, it remains incredibly difficult to surpass. Now, let's shift gears to scenarios where you absolutely need believable human movement and on-screen presence. For those influencer-style clips, character performances, or complex talking head scenarios, Kling is the one to investigate. Kling's sweet spot is making human characters look authentic without requiring you to use any motion capture rigs or expensive studios. It excels at preserving subtle facial performance and natural body language, which is vital when the human element takes center stage. A common use case involves generating action sequences, like a masked swordswoman racing across rooftops with her cape dramatically flowing. Kling handles the complex choreography, the physics of the fabric, and the scene framing in a way that feels very deliberate. For image-to-video tasks, you can upload a great portrait and ask for a slow, dramatic camera push or a gentle walkthrough, and it generally maintains visual coherence. It often delivers that specific, gritty, cinematic vibe that many narrative creators are hunting for. Kling also boasts experimental modes that allow you to composite separate assets like characters and foreground smoke into one unified scene. While that specific feature isn't perfectly polished yet, it's super handy for quick tests and initial scene compositions. Where this tool admittedly falls short is that the motion can sometimes appear a little too clean or even slightly stiff. It's fantastic for personality-driven content and key narrative beats, but it's definitely not the fastest for rapid, high-volume iteration. Next, we arrive at the undisputed champion for achieving true cinematic realism, VO. This is the tool where lighting, camera pacing, and natural environmental interaction genuinely look professionally shot. The results here are frankly stunning, showcasing believable haze, soft depth of field, and perfect camera pacing. If you are developing a high-end concept trailer, a polished advertisement, or a serious short film, this is the clear direction to pursue. My example involved a woman walking barefoot through a misty forest at dawn, requesting a subtle handheld camera sway. You receive naturalistic lighting, realistic mist movement reacting to her steps, and beautiful light streaks that scream cinema. The significant downside is both the cost involved and the considerably longer render times this level of quality demands. For everyday creators or anyone operating on a tighter budget, this level of realism is honestly often complete overkill for most needs. You can clearly see the pattern emerging. Every single tool occupies a very distinct and specialized sweet spot. Seedance handles precision, Pixverse does stylized art, Kling manages human performance, and VO delivers pure cinematic polish. But this necessary variety creates a massive headache regarding which platform you should actually focus on learning. Which subscription do you commit to, and how do you manage them all when updates change the supposed best tool overnight? You end up either constantly hopping between platforms or subscribing to everything and getting completely spread too thin financially. This is precisely where the hard, practical reality of consistent content creation needs to intersect with these amazing new technologies. Most creators don't need to master 10 different niche generation engines. They need a streamlined system. What they truly require is a workflow that automatically converts long-form videos into platform-ready short clips and does it fast. That brings us to the tool that solves the daily grind for most of us, Vizard. I don't use it to replace the fancy generators. I use it because it handles the crucial job of repurposing existing long content. It takes your hours-long podcasts, live streams, or lectures and turns them into automatically discoverable, viral potential clips. I use Seedance and the others to create my creative raw material, but Vizard handles 90% of my daily posting logistics. Here is the practical 4-step way I think about integrating all these systems into my creation process. Step 1 is simply to create or generate your highest quality creative asset using the specialized AI for the job. Want that stunning 8-second establishing shot from VO? Go ahead and generate that masterpiece first. Step 2 is feeding that massive long-form content, the full interview, or the entire recorded lecture, directly into the Vizard platform. Vizard's auto-editing feature then scans everything and intelligently finds the moments most likely to actually land with an audience. It identifies those punchy emotional beats, the funniest lines, and the moments of rising tension automatically. You completely bypass the tedious process of scrubbing through an hour of footage just to hunt for those few viral gems. Step 3 involves letting the AI handle the formatting variants, which is a massive time saver for multi-platform posting. It automatically generates platform-optimized aspect ratios, creates accurate captions, and offers different edit styles for A/B testing hooks. This means one original piece of content quickly transforms into dozens of perfectly optimized posts across TikTok, Shorts, and Reels. The final step, number 4, is scheduling and completely automating the entire posting cadence from one central spot. You set your desired posting frequency, and the autoscheduler queues up clips for the exact days and times you choose. The built-in content calendar makes any future adjustments incredibly easy, like swapping a clip or tweaking a caption without breaking the entire plan. Now, why does this multi-tool approach actually matter for growing your presence? Generators like VO and Seedance are superb at crafting singular, stunning visual moments. But as creators, our lifeblood is consistency and sheer quantity of output across all platforms. You can have the most jaw-dropping assets in the world, but they won't grow an audience if you don't push them out in a steady stream. Vizard explicitly fills that crucial gap by acting as the production line that converts pure creativity directly into audience reach. Let's quickly talk about the key weaknesses of those other brilliant creative tools. Some are priced out by hefty subscription fees, while others require hours of painful trial and error prompting just to look acceptable. A lot of creators waste entire evenings tweaking minor prompt wording, which is the fastest way to burn out. Vizard doesn't pretend to replace your creative generation tools. It perfectly complements them by speeding up distribution. It ensures the beautiful output from those specialized AIs actually gets seen by real people, and it gets there fast. Here are a couple of essential tips directly from my personal, hard-won workflow. Always maintain one master recording of your long-form source footage, even if you are primarily creating AI shorts. You need that full source file for Vizard to mine the absolute best, most contextually relevant moments from the recording. Use the advanced generators like VO or Pixverse specifically to create the eye-catching B-roll or the dramatic hero clips that make your post pop. Finally, and this is critical for growth, stop obsessing over perfection and embrace iterative posting. Consistent volume always wins. Post frequently, review your analytics to see what actually worked, and then let Vizard scale up the proven winners for you. To wrap this up, there is absolutely no single best AI video tool available today. They are all built for different specializations. Seedance, Pixverse, Kling, and VO each serve a powerful, unique function in the creative arsenal. But if your main goal is actually growing your presence through consistent daily output, you need a system that converts ideas into posts without consuming all your time. That is where Vizard sits in the modern creator stack. It is not a replacement for creativity, but the essential glue that holds the entire distribution process together. For a truly no-nonsense setup, generate your specific assets, drop the long form into Vizard, let it auto-edit, and manage everything from the central content calendar. You will inevitably post more content, you will learn much faster from concrete performance data, and you will finally start scaling without feeling totally burnt out. And that is the complete rundown on how to manage the current AI video explosion effectively. I will list links to all the specialized tools I mentioned down in the description so you can test them yourself. But for the simplest, most practical path, from raw footage to consistent viral clips, Vizard is the daily answer you've been looking for. I strongly encourage you to just give it a try and immediately see just how much mental time it saves you every single week. Once you stop manually clipping, trimming, and scheduling content for hours, you will wonder how you ever managed to post anything at all without it.